Hi, Sue. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm great. How are you? I'm
Good.
doing
Good to
well.
meet you
It's so
online.
nice to meet you.
Can you give us a little background about yourself and how long you've known Dr. Wu?
Sure. So I live in Plainville, Connecticut, and I work for the Board of Ed here. So I work with students all day long.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
I met Dr. Wu about a year and a half ago. And I met him because a good friend of mine reached out to me to share that he might be a good connection for me. She knows that I've been dealing with osteoarthritis for a long time. And just to let you know where I started, when I was 19, I went to a rheumatologist to get some blood work done. And I did that because my father had very debilitating arthritis. His
Mhm.
brother did, my aunt did. And so I just wanted to see where I stood. And when he, took like 16 vials of blood
Oh,
and came
wow.
back and said, yeah, he said, you're going to be more crippled than your father. You're going to be more disabled. And at 19 to hear that is just like, whew,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's that's heavy. And so that just kind of puts that victim mentality in your brain, and you just kind of have to accept it and say, all right, well, this is what's going to happen when I get older, and so forth and so on. So through the years, through the decades, I mean, and by the way, everybody wanted to study my father and my uncle and my aunt because they had so much arthritis and so many different kinds of arthritis that they just really couldn't understand it. So like I said, to get that diagnosis is pretty tough as a teenager.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
what prompted you to go find or see Dr. Wu
yeah.
specifically?
So my friend knew I dealt with this, for a while. And, when I was 50, she knew that I went to go see a doctor, a hand specialist, because I wanted to see what I could do for my hands because it really affected my hands
Oh, wow.
the most.
Yeah.
And, I do everything with my hands. I'm hands on. And I was like, oh, I don't want this to really mess me up for the future. So I went to a hand specialist and he took x-rays, and I remember sitting there in the office with him, and I said, well, what can we do? And he's like, nothing.
Oh, my
And then,
goodness. Yeah.
and then he sat there and I was like, what do you mean nothing? Like, what's the plan? Like, and he's like, there's nothing you can do. When the
Yeah.
pain gets really bad, you can consider joint replacement, steroids, or cortisone. And I thought, well,
Lovely
that's not,
choices, by the way, right?
yeah,
Uh-huh.
it's not
Yeah.
no. And
Yeah.
so my friend, she mentioned, I'm going to this Chinese medical doctor
Right.
in West Hartford. His name is Dr. Wu. I've been doing Qi Gong with him as well. And I'm like, what's Qi Gong?
Right.
And she's like, he's made such a difference. And I could tell because we were good friends. She looked a little more relaxed.
Mhm.
And so I said, okay, I made an appointment. And the appointment was for December 26th, a year and a half ago. And if anyone that knows me knows I don't do anything on December 26th.
The
That
day
is my
after.
national
Yeah.
holiday. And Dr. Wu wanted to see me at 9 in the morning. And I
Oh, wow.
thought, that's a sign.
Yeah. He was
Sign.
dedicated, right? I mean, he was dedicated to seeing you and making sure it was taken care of. Yeah.
Yes. So, I went in to see him, and um I remember this appointment too. The last man had nothing for me. And Dr. Wu, after talking with me, doing a treatment with me, sitting back down and talking, I remember getting really emotional because for the first time, like
Yeah.
ever, he heard me.
Mm.
And I was so grateful for that because he had a plan of action. He said, we're going to make a plan. Like,
Mm.
it's not going to get perfect, but it's going to get better.
Right.
And those are the words that I needed to hear. He gave me hope. And for me, I could get choked up now. That is everything. That
Yeah.
was everything.
That's
Um,
wonderful. I mean, it's very rare that medical doctors take that personal time to really listen to the suffering that you're going through and prescribing you. And I know that in this case, that Dr. Wu must have customized and personalized your treatments.
mhm.
What did he do specifically for you?
Well, the first thing he did was change my diet a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, he's cut out gluten and
Yes.
cut out dairy, and which I'm
Yes.
sure he tells most people, right?
Right.
Because your body can't handle all that gluten, and that really does trigger inflammation, and and that's not good for arthritis. I
Hmm.
also started with the sessions, so I did those treatments, the acupressure, and those were amazing for me because that really opened up I can't do that to my back. And
Right.
what he does that treatment is everything for someone. That opens all your channels. It moves the energy. It's fantastic. And I started Qi Gong too.
Hmm.
No idea what I was doing the first few times. Even to this day, a year and a half later, like I'm still learning.
Yeah.
Um, but I do it every week with him in person on Saturdays. In the summer, he does it in Elizabeth Park. We do it there. And then I do it at home. And Qigong really, like, that's that meditation and movement. And that just centers your body and brings you peace and stress level from, working with kids and having, this chronic illness and whatever. Just it does everything for you. So I love Qigong. I do Moxibustion as well.
Hmm.
And that made all the difference too. Moxibustion, there's the little, you put it on wherever you have the pain that you need to open up the channels, right?
Yeah.
I do every
That's with a
single day.
specific, is that with mugwort?
That's with mugwort.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that,
They
yeah, it
light
just
it up, right? And then they put like
light it up.
circles, like little circle fire.
Yeah. My husband says I look like a birthday cake because I just sit there and I'm all up on my hands and my feet and everything. But
Yeah.
it does wonders for you. Like
Yeah.
it, it's been amazing.
So,
Yeah.
so how long, all of these treatments that you were doing between Tuina and not the Moxibustion, like how long was this regimen?
So I've been doing it since I met him a year and a half ago.
A
I
year
do
and a
the
half. Okay.
I do that once a month. Um, so I
Right.
probably reboot with him once a month. The Moxibustion I do every single day. I do, that's my daily habit now. I sit and I start the day just being mindful. I do the Qigong and I do the Moxibustion. That's an everyday thing. That's a commitment I made to myself.
That's great. So can you share and kind of take me through in your mind and your symptoms and your condition, like the before and after effects? So before, the symptoms that you had going with a Western medicine, and then what does it feel like today and your condition today?
Yeah. So with the Western medicine, and that's important for some people. I feel
Right.
like for me, I mean, it's it just wasn't getting to the root cause.
Right.
It was treating the symptoms, but unfortunately, what was treating the symptoms was also giving me more symptoms.
That's
Right. So I'm
interesting.
taking an
Yeah.
anti-inflammatory, but then it's causing other issues.
Right.
Whatever I was doing, it was causing other issues. And it was causing more stress and the higher levels of cortisol and, lack of sleep too. That became a thing too. The pain
Mhm.
every night, putting the creams on and you're not sleeping because you have pain in, my hands, in addition to my
Yeah.
knees and, you know,
Hmm.
so moving into, um, all the treatments that Dr. Wu has provided and shared with me, that allows me to help heal myself. Like
Right.
he teaches you, who am I?
Right.
Like you learn to know yourself and
Hmm.
what your body needs. And that's powerful. I mean, that's,
Hugely powerful.
yeah. And when
Yeah.
you're doing it Western, you're just taking, you know,
Right.
treating it like a Band-Aid,
Right.
but
Yeah.
this way you're getting to the root
It's
cause.
sick. It becomes like this perpetual treadmill that you're on, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yes.
given there are great aspects of Western medicine with like
Yes.
surgeries and things like that, but I think on a sustainability and longevity for maintaining your health and your mental health, I think, Dr. Wu's philosophy is probably a little more spiritual in that way. So I wanted to segue to that is like, what have you learned from Dr. Wu in all these matters about spirituality, taking care of your mental, emotional health, and of course the body.
Yeah, and I think that's what you learn the most about being in the presence of Dr. Wu, right?
Yeah.
His energy. And when you're doing a Qi Gong session with him, it's that community, it's that connection with mind, body, and spirit. And that's powerful. That's healing
So
from
do
the
you, yeah. So do you sense his energy is totally vibrant when you're around
yes,
him? You feel
yeah,
it
yes.
emanating or
I
something?
feel it. I mean, even the last
Yeah.
time I was there, he had me stand in front of another person there, and he just pushed his energy through me to I like, and my whole being got red. Like I was sweating. I
Yeah.
felt his energy as he was healing another woman in front of me. Like he's
Yeah.
connected and he has that.
Yeah.
Uh,
He seems to really harness that life chi that is the
yeah,
essence of every person. And he understands the depth and profound impact of all of that. That I think that's what's amazing. So how have you changed as a person?
yeah. I feel empowered
That's
now.
wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like he gave me that gift.
Mm.
Um, you know, I just feel stronger. I feel more balanced. I think
Yeah.
everything learned, like, getting stronger through doing Qigong, emotionally peaceful.
Mm,
Like you become peaceful doing Qigong. You can't help it unless, that's why you do it every day. You start your day in that mode and you end your day that way. um, it's giving grace to the universe that you're here, and that's what he teaches you, and that's what he shares with you, and he doesn't push anything, and he's just like, you know enjoy life. He loves when I have a shirt that says today is the best day ever, and that's what he shares with us. It's like, enjoy today, like, forget the monkey mind, forget all that.
yeah, totally.
That's so that's the gift he gave me. Like, he's a beautiful, amazing, kind soul, and
Yeah.
he
He is.
he
Yeah.
shared that with us.
Yeah, he's the real deal. I mean, I've met
It's
him
the real
in
deal.
person. He came out to Carlsbad for an interview, and I met him in person as well. And you definitely sense he is in alignment with who he is and what he practices and how he treats patients. It's all in alignment. It's kind of hard to fake that. You know what I mean? And
Exactly.
he's actually quite humorous. He's a funny guy too.
It's so funny. Oh, the all the little analogies, all the little stories. Like, he delivers a tidbit, a beautiful message, something you need. It's like he's talking exactly to you, but he does it with humor.
Right, right,
I don't know. He has a gift, and I love that he's always been like this. I love that he has a history from his father and grandfather and through all
right.
the years. And it's
Yeah.
a gift that shares it with us. And
Yeah.
I wish I met him a lot sooner.
Yeah. No, I understand. What would you say to, the average American that thinks this Taoist Chinese medicine is a bit woo-woo? It's not scientifically based. What do you think about all that? What would you suggest to someone that is at a crossroads and they're looking for something to do that can help them and help better their health instead of Western medicine?
I would say look at if it's the right timing for you. I
Right.
think you can't hear the message, and you can't be open to the healing modality if you're not ready for it. So
That's
look
very
at
wise. Yeah.
yeah, look at what you're trying to
Hmm.
heal. Do you want to address the root cause? And one thing that's happening in your body stems from a million other places. So unless you get quiet, I would say take a minute and try it, because
Mm.
until you get quiet and you're still, you're not going to see what's up with your body and your mind
You
and your
can't see the gift. Yeah.
can't see the gifts. And so
Yeah.
I think it's woo woo. I think it's how it's always been done long before we had
Yeah.
half of the medicines we have, they're just healing naturally.
Yeah.
Um, you know,
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason why Chinese medicine has existed for over 2000 years. Why is it still existing today? You got to give some credibility there. if it didn't work. It's because it is working. That's why it still exists. Um,
Exactly.
can you touch a bit upon the fear and the anxiety that I think you mentioned you had before when you had osteoarthritis? And how do you feel today about anxiety and fear?
Yeah. Like I said, the fear I had before was that this was in my genes and I
Mhm.
was going to be so crippled, right? And so I'm not saying um, I'm s- I'm not saying don't be aware of what's in your genes and don't be aware that things could happen and maybe they already are, but be present and try to find the solution for it. At least that's what I'm doing. So my fear is gone.
Wonderful.
I
Yeah.
Yeah, I've just learned to just be really in tune with my body. And that's
Right.
all I do for myself every single day. And that's what he teaches us. Again, who am I? Be in tune with your body, make it a daily habit to check in. And if you do that, you know,
Right.
you'll be okay. So I think the fear is gone. Every day I say to myself, how can I serve myself and how do I serve others? And I think
Right.
that's the fear goes when you're not worried about the future. You're just present in the moment and you're
Mhm.
taking care of yourself today. That's all
Right.
you can.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds like you have like the real confidence now to equip with the tools and knowledge of TCM. And
Yeah.
why have anxiety when you know that, you do know how to take care of yourself? And I think people tend to jump from fear to panic immediately. And if they had some sort of spiritual component or practice that Dr. Wu is teaching about Taoism, it's all about being in the present. If you're not worried about tomorrow and yesterday, you're here, it's in front of you. So, um, do you have any words for Dr. Wu with your experience
Oh
overall?
gosh. So many words. I, he came into my life at the right time. I'm not sure if I had met him 25 years ago, if I would have heard him.
Yeah,
May have, but I just feel like he came in my life at the right time. So I thank him for inviting me for the first consultation and listening to me and hearing me and really um, making a plan. I think he's a gift. I think I'm grateful just for the way that he connects with
mhm.
me and making me feel very important and my health very important and my well-being and my joy. And I think that's um, something that's so rare, especially these days, running into a person like that. And
Yeah,
yeah, I wish everybody could know Dr. Wu. I do. I think his little beautiful energy is, again, it's just a gift.
wonderful. Beautiful story. Thank you, Sue, for sharing. And we will leave the details in the caption. Thank you again.
Okay, thank you.